Our film is called Left Out the Box, and our production company is called Beast Productions. And we are pitching to the BFI because we ourselves are like British local company, and we only need limited funding for our film. In our group is Thea Higginbottom, George Archer, Jess Duke and Benjamin Hadford.
We decided to call our production company Beast Films. We chose this name as the word beast is usually associated with something big and empowering. We also thought that this was a unique and exciting name other than just a plain stereotypical production company name.
We have set up a Twitter page to promote our production company. This is to showcase our latest films, updates and regularly engage our audience in the filmmaking process.
This is our Twitter page. We hope we'll grow on Twitter. Twitter is a very good way to promote our films which we make. There's a wide range of people use Twitter from all ages, genders and also backgrounds too.
In the left-hand corner is our logo, which we chose. We thought it represented horror in a way of that it's scary as a beast, so it therefore ties in with our film, which we are going to be making, which is horror films. The black also connotes darkness in the company, which makes the viewers and the Twitter page aware that our company only produces horror films.
The genre for our film is horror. Our subgenre is supernatural, and our target audience are people ages between 16 and 21, and of both genders too.
To market our film, we have made a Twitter page for our production company. This promotes it as we can use hashtags like #horror, and people will therefore type into Twitter #horror and will see our production company. This is a good way to promote our film as lots of people will see it and also all around the world.
Another thing we are planning to do to promote our film is to put up posters around areas like Nottingham and Derbyshire. We will put them in these locations as they will be local people who will be interested in the film, as people starring in it will also be local people too.
We are also planning on doing some guerrilla marketing, in which we'll put 1,000 Beast post-it notes around the UK, and if you get one, you'll get a free ticket to see our first showing of the film. We will also use cross-media convergence and put the post-it notes in shops and areas our target market will go to make the search a little easier.
This is a synopsis for our film, just an overview of it. Basically, it's about a young student when packing to move out and go to university, comes across an old doll her grandma gave to her at a young age. When contemplating on whether to take the doll with her, she decides against it. Little does she know, an evil presence that has marked her and watched her little child from a little child is keeping its energy inside the doll. When later that night, the evil presence lets itself be known. Heather, the student, decides against the idea of leaving it and is forced to take in the spirit with her. When arriving to the university, immediate paranormal action takes place, with her dorm door coming off the hinges. Each night becomes worse and worse until her roommate is killed and police put the blame on Heather. However, the Heather that we used to know is not the Heather anymore, and we see her murder a policeman in the final scenes.
Heather Pearson is our main character in our film and plays a naive 18-year-old currently packing for university. She is 5'8" and has brown brunette hair. She lives with her mum, dad and younger sister. Heather Pearson plays the character Heather when she is older.
Alex Tulip plays a little girl which represents Heather when she is younger. Young Heather is 5, and this is how old the character is in real life. She is 3'8" and has light blonde hair which is a medium length. She lives with her mum, dad and 2 older sisters. Young Heather is a very quiet character who likes spending her time playing with dolls.
Katrina Black is the soon-to-be housemate of Heather Pearson in our film Left Out the Box. She is 18 and 5'5" and has long black hair. Katrina is very interested in heavy metal bands and the supernatural world.
Jess's house is a stereotypical family home, which includes 2 girls' bedrooms. We are using this house to film the little girl who was Heather when she was her younger self. The room which we will be filming in with the 4-year-old room, which includes children's toys and very bright, vibrant colours. and it represents a very happy place to be in, which is a juxtaposition to what is going to happen.
George's house is a large old build house. George's room has 4 white walls and blacked out curtains, which adds a scary feel to the room. It is also a very stereotypical girls' bedrooms, including wardrobes, mirrors and girly items. We will be using this house to represent Heather's home before she goes off to university.
The creepy house. We will be using the outside exterior of the creepy house to portray it as the front of George's house. This will add effect as the house will therefore come across as more spooky setting and will add tension to the opening scene other than having a normal everyday house.
These are some of the location shots. I think.
So do you want me to...
Heather will be wearing very stereotypical clothing for a teenage girl, simply jeans and a top with trainers. Heather doesn't dress in majorly girly clothing, but will be dressed in simple clothing that shows no character and shows nothing about her interests and beliefs.
The doll is dressed in a white Victorian style dress, which therefore represents that it is an old doll.
The little girl, who is played by Alex Tulip, represents Heather when she was a younger girl. She will be dressed in very girly clothing, for example, a flowered dress with cream tights and a pink cardigan.
We'll use different camera shots whilst filming our opening sequence left out the box. We will include long shots, close-up, mid-shots, bird's eye view and low-angle shots.
We will mainly use close-ups and bird's eye view. By using close-ups, it adds tension to the scene as we get to see the emotions in depth. By using bird's eye view, it allows the audience to see the location, and it also sets the scene of where it is, which adds a lot of information for the viewer.
The worm's eye angle will be used as it adds to the authority the doll has over Heather.
And the eye level angle will be effective in our film as the eyes are a central part of the film to get the emotion we should be feeling from the particular character. You can't hear it very well.
Oh, that's a shame.
This
Sounds very, very strange.
Anyway, that will look at the song played when the titles are coming up and the young Heather and her sister Rachel are playing. It will then be repeated at the end when there is a point of view shot on the doll's face at the end of the sequence.
We will also be using silence in an effective way at the end when the doll is very close to Heather's face. We will use a dramatic heartbeat to raise tensions and build pressures amongst audience members.
Any questions?
Yeah, where did your idea originate from?
Well, when we were researching different movies, we came across Annabelle, the one that came out in 2014, and we kind of liked the idea. And from our questionnaire, we got that people were most scared of like the supernatural and like dolls and stuff. So we decided to go with that idea.
How much exactly do you think would fund the film?
Maybe say it wouldn't be a proper expensive budget. Maybe like a couple of 100,000 would be a decent budget for this kind of film.
And like you said, you took inspiration from Annabelle, and there's obviously quite a few other films that are very similar. So how are you going to differ your film to make sure it's not just another one to throw in the pile with all the rest?
Our film follows the girl from a young age, so we'll show like her life throughout, which most films don't do. They just show one time period, whereas we'll show different time periods from like the doll haunting her at a young age, like Alex's age, up until when she's going off to university. Any more questions?
Do you have one, Lucy?
What age is it? Like 15 and 18? It's a 15. Yeah, it's a 15. Because our target audience is 16 to 21. So if it was an 18, 2 years of our thing, we'll be able to go watch it.
Yeah, that's really sensible in terms of
Yeah,
your profit in the end.
yeah.
Yeah, so you do know what you don't have to leave out in order for it to be the FC to get 15.
Yeah, there's no sex.
What about swearing violence? So is it, I imagine
It's
school
like
suggestions.
moderate violence, like there couldn't be like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
very strong violence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
To be an
So you're
18.
aware of that, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously, once it goes to BBFC, when it's
Yeah.
finished, you know, it's a real problem if there's something in there and they say no, it's for our profit, but we're going to give you, as investors,
Yeah.
you know, we want to make sure we get our profit back. Where do you suppose to exhibit it? Where are you hoping to exhibit?
All over the UK really.
In what sort of cinema?
Probably like big cinemas like Showcase and
It's very ambitious.
Cineworld.
It's very ambitious. What about film festivals? Have you thought about that? Remember, you've got,
Don't know whether
you've
we're
got,
just
you've got to pick a distributor along the way.
yeah. Well, we're going to the BFI, so maybe like local
Well, yeah.
Broadway.
festivals first.
Well, then
Broadway.
you're going for, well, then you're going to make
Then,
films.
yeah,
You've
make-
still got to pick a distributor. So keep that in mind again. Perhaps think about that. Whereas, who is going to distribute it for you
Okay.
and where? Usually, film festivals for small films.
Yeah.
You might think about that before you go on to the big one. Okay. Excellent. That's really good. I really enjoyed that. Very thorough. Yeah, think about distribution and the BDFC, what you might get.